You've got questions, I have answers for you. My name is William Gonitz, and I am a certified trichologist with the World Trichology Society, and today I'm answering subscriber questions. So let's get into it. So my first question actually comes from a subscriber on YouTube. The question is, can I replace minoxidil with rosemary oil? I read that rosemary oil performs as good as minoxidil. Well, first of all, if you're already on minoxidil, don't stop. I have multiple videos on actually both of these items, and if you stop minoxidil cold turkey and switch to rosemary oil, the highest probability is you will dump hair. When you're on minoxidil for essentially after 90 days, maybe 6 months, you are actually stuck on minoxidil forever until such time as you wean off, and I have a video right here about weaning off of that, so you can go back and watch that. What you read was true. There is a study from 2015 comparing 2% minoxidil against rosemary oil, and it's actually 2% minoxidil twice a day, and it's rosemary oil undiluted twice a day, and ironically the rosemary oil outperformed the minoxidil 2%. However, again, you do not want to switch from minoxidil to rosemary oil directly because you will end up dumping hair, but what you could do is actually add rosemary oil to your minoxidil. If you have a typical bottle of minoxidil, which is about 60 milliliters, you can actually add about 1.5 milliliters of rosemary oil to that bottle, and then you can use rosemary oil alongside minoxidil. So that is the best way to use rosemary oil and minoxidil together. Do not switch off of minoxidil to rosemary oil. Another question also from YouTube. I've been on oral minoxidil for 2 months, taking 1.25 milligrams in the morning and in the afternoon with not much results. How long does it take to see results? Well, oral minoxidil is basically there to improve the anagen cycle, basically to make the anagen cycle longer, improve blood flow to the scalp. You might not necessarily see an overwhelming improvement. It may just slowly over time improve the volume ever so slightly of your hair. It may also simply be an adjunct to something else like finasteride or nutritional supplementation or even a natural topical formula. So 2 months is way too early to see results. Typically, it's going to take 90 days for you to see a result from anything that you're doing to treat your hair loss. Also, it isn't something that's just supposed to magically regrow your hair. It's something to support other items and actually just support your hair growth in general. Give it at least 6 months if you want to actually observe the results, and get a microscope to view your scalp if you really want to see some really direct changes microscopically, because you can see what's going on microscopically about 3 or 4 days after taking any new product. It's very cool. So definitely go ahead and do that. And my last question, this one is from Instagram, and the question is, what is up with the Eat Right for the Blood Type diet? So I get questions about Eat Right for the Blood Type all the time. People think it's crazy. I completely understand because I thought it was crazy long ago as well. But here's my experience. Back in 2008, I had a group of people in my clinics in Arizona that just did not respond to normal treatment. I had about 20 to 30 people. We were trying to figure out what was going on with them. Long story short, about 80% of the group was O blood type. I was looking at different variations of why these people aren't responding, but I also recommended a vegetarian diet to everyone at the time. Now, we did not test for ferritin, nor did we test vitamin D3 at that point, but we ended up seeing high levels of inflammation in these individuals as O blood types that really nothing was able to bring it down. Through a sort of random circumstance, I had already dismissed the Eat Right for the Blood Type, but at the time there was a naturopathic college in Arizona that was the largest one in the United States, and it was recommending Eat Right for the Blood Type as an anti-inflammatory diet. So I applied that formula to my clients in the clinic alongside doing some gut support, and ultimately we ended up seeing improvement in about 90% of the individuals that were in the test group. So at the end of the day, we used that diet to help get people growing hair again. And I have since then applied this formula to anybody dealing with high levels of inflammation, and there have been numerous times that all I did was change the individual dietary components, and all of a sudden they started regrowing hair on the protocol that they were on prior to it. So it sort of unleashes the bioavailability or reduction of inflammation of your body to allow for things to respond. That is my experience, and after 22 years essentially of doing this, I use it. I recommend it to every single client who's dealing with inflammation, and if that's something you're dealing with, I highly recommend that you use it too. So that is that. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. If you like content like this, please subscribe to this channel, and I'm happy to help in any way.